The Entrepreneurial Journey Podcast. We're talking business and building a culture that's kick-ass. Where we make it happen, grab your seat, let's have a blast. At the Entrepreneurial Journey Podcast.
Hey Sam, welcome to the Entrepreneurial Journey Podcast. How are you today?
Oh, I'm brilliant, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks. So you're the founder of the social handgrenade, which is a fascinating name for a business. How did you come up with that?
I just thought it suited my personality quite well. As anybody that left a long-term corporate job,
Right.
first iteration of my company name was SNL Marketing Solutions, which is boring and grey and bland
Yeah.
and really corporate sounding. And I learned quite quickly that that didn't really match who I was and what I was trying to do. So I changed it to something that kind of suited my personality a bit better.
All right, then. Tell me about your corporate life. What did you do before you did what you're doing now?
Again, sales and marketing for my whole career, but I worked for companies like Carillion. In fact, that was the last proper corporate role I had just before it went bust. Promise that
Really?
wasn't my
You
fault.
left? No. Right, okay,
Not my fault.
we're not going to blame you then. Right,
No.
okay.
B&Q, so I worked with the team that helped with the rebranding from B&Q.com to DIY.com.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and numerous corporate positions in between.
All right. What was it like at Carillion towards the end?
Yeah, interesting.
Mm.
They, as with most quite large companies, it was quite a box ticking exercise for anything to do with kind of mental health or anything like that. You know, I was leaving home at 6:30 in the morning and sometimes not getting home till 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
Traveling the whole country and trying to bring up 2 kids on my own at the time. So yeah, it was an interesting time.
Yeah, not good. Not good at all. Why did you leave? What was the catalyst that you went, stuff it, I'm off?
Well, they went under. They went bust.
Oh, right.
So
okay.
we went into work one day and they kind of went, yeah, the government's not actually going to bail us out. We're going under, and that was it.
Now, would you have set up on your own had they not gone bust?
Probably not. You get kind of used to sitting in these corporate roles where you're kind of brainwashed into a thought that you have to have this salary behind you to make everything secure and nice and safe and fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
And the trappings you get with senior corporate roles are quite nice. You know,
Yeah.
the cars and the salary, and so they're all nice things to have.
Yeah.
But I had all of those at the detriment of my relationship with my children at the end of the day. So they kind of did me a favour.
A lot of people, when I talk to business owners and they say, you know, I've got to make redundancies, and they feel really terrible about making redundancies. And the day they stop feeling terrible when they making redundancies is the day I probably stop working with them, because they've turned into sociopaths. But anyway, what I say to them is, you know, most of the time you're doing a lot of those people a favor, because they'll go off and they'll either start their own business, or they'll retrain, or they'll go, do you know what? This is a really good time to rethink. So how much time did you spend rethinking, and at what stage do you think, right, I'm going to start my own business?
I kind of jumped into contract roles initially because I wasn't sure. I wanted to be sure that when I went into a new job, it was going to be the right fit.
Yeah.
I didn't just want to jump into another job long term because I felt I had to.
Yeah.
And after 2 or 3 contract roles, I just kind of went, you know, I don't need. I've got all of this experience, and to be honest, the way my brain works, I can be all over the place and either hyper focused or not focused at all.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to fit myself back into a corporate box, it didn't feel right.
Right.
So I just thought, the best thing for me to do is to get away from the corporate, I'm going to try and shove you into this nice, neat little box life.
Yeah.
And kind of help startups and kind of SMEs and smaller companies just make a bit more of an impact.
Yeah. Fair enough. Now, this is going out on a podcast note, so not everybody's going to be able to see your background, but your background is full of books and DVDs. All right. So tell me about that.
I know it's a bit of an idiosyncrasy due to the fact that I do everything digital. So I'm a digital marketer and I help with content and how to get the most out of yourself online. But when it comes to stuff to watch and read and things, I like to have a physical copy. I like to be able to feel it in my hands still.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I'll ever pass that. I think somewhere I've still got a box of old mixtapes. That I'm showing my age now, but yeah, a box of old mixtapes that I had from when I was a kid and things. Just brilliant. Can't let go of that whole physical copy.
Well,
and the smell of the book.
I think Kindle should be made illegal.
Yes.
Yeah, and we should have a bonfire of Kindles, because books, I'm 100% with you. You cannot replace that sensation of picking up a book and physically turning the pages.
There's nothing like it. I love doing it.
Yeah. No. Now, were you also of the generation that would sit and press record on the radio?
On the top 40.
At the top 40 on a Sunday night?
And you hear it back and all you'd hear is a song and then click, click between songs because you're trying to get the words out. Yeah. That was me.
That was me too. You don't look old enough, Sam. I don't know what cream you're using, but still carry on using it because it's working. So yeah, used on a Sunday night, top 40 started at 6 o'clock, I think, didn't it? On a Sunday night, Radio 1. You'd be there because you had to press two buttons at the same time, didn't you, to get record? And the red record button was always a bit stiff.
Really stiff. Yeah. Honestly, kids do not understand how easy they've got it now. And then if your tape chewed up, and you'd have to pull it all out and then wind it with a pencil to try and get the tape back in. Yeah.
Yes, with a pencil. Somebody yesterday told me, now you're sitting down so it's okay, 40 years since the album Thriller was released.
I have that on vinyl.
So I got Thriller on tape for my birthday, my 12th birthday, with, we called them a ghetto blaster in those days. Yeah. Don't even know whether you're allowed to use that term, but hey, I'm using it. And that was like the ultimate gift, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you were the coolest kid on the block because you had this ghetto blaster and you had the Thriller album.
Yeah.
Oh, so how the heck did you get into digital marketing? Because you're a traditionalist from the sounds of things.
I am, but because I've been in marketing for so long, you kind of see trends come and go, and you have to kind of stay on top of new trends.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're not going to get your business seen anymore.
No, it's true.
I mean, how many leaflets do you get through your door that you actually read?
None.
No, they tend to go straight into the recycle bin. I don't even look at them anymore.
No, it's true.
That old traditional way of marketing doesn't really work anymore.
No.
And especially since lockdown and things happened, and kind of companies were forced to go online, you've got to get a little bit more creative about how you're going to make yourself stand out.
And what's the secret? Because there's so much noise. How, when I've got so many questions. Let's start from the beginning. How do you stand out? Let's just take. I hate Instagram. Okay, I detest Instagram. Okay, it drives me up the wall. It's an utterly pointless platform. Okay,
It's fine.
Sell Instagram to me. Why would Instagram be good for a business, and what sort of business would it be good for?
Instagram is a really, really visual platform.
Yeah.
Some service-based industries do fairly well.
Okay.
But I tend to find the ones that do really, really kind of smash it out of the park are the product type based.
Right.
Because they can show their products and how their products are going to benefit their end user. So whether it's making your house smell nice because you've got scented candles, or making you feel special and glamorous because you've got a jewellery line.
Yeah.
You can sell a lifestyle
on
Instagram, which is what it's really good for.
Okay.
But also, again, it's the same with LinkedIn. You can put a bit of your personality in it.
You can.
People buy from people.
Yeah.
And it works the same with brands and companies as it does for people. You need to show what's unique about you and your offering. And whether you're a solopreneur, can't speak anymore, or whether you're an SME, it's the same. The most unique part of your company is the people that are in it.
Yeah.
I often ask people what their USP is, and they'll come back and say, "Oh yeah, we've got amazing customer service," or we use the best parts to build the best quality, whatever. Which I'm sure every other company in the world says is their USP.
Yeah.
And if everybody else is saying it, it's not a USP.
It's not. It's real. My favourite is lawyers. And they'll put on their website and all their marketing materials, we are a full service law firm and our lawyers are qualified to the highest standard. And that means we can do everything from cradle to grave and everything for your business. And we can sell your house and we can do this. And I'm like, nobody cares. Oh, and we've been established since 1871. Nobody cares.
You could have been established at the same time as Henry VIII.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter to me at all. What matters is how specifically you can help me do what I need to do.
Yeah.
And how simple that process will be.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, as a marketer, here's a question. So my teenage daughter, my youngest daughter, was saying to me this morning in the car, she said, "Mum, look at this black sweatshirt. It costs 30 quid. Look at this same black sweatshirt with the logo on it. It costs 80 quid. I went, that's branding for you.
Yeah.
So what are your words of wisdom to small businesses about branding and marketing? What's the best advice you could give them?
Like, branding is much more than just a logo.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. A lot of small companies go, "Oh yeah, but I need a logo because that's how people are going to recognise me."
Yeah.
Branding is actually your company story. So your why and your benefits and everything in between, and your value system as a company.
Okay.
And that has to be across all of your messaging. So it's not just your logo, it's your colouring, your fonts, your core values, and how you tell people about that. Gucci, for example, if you're talking high-end luxury brands, do it really, really, really well. All of their advertising is out there and a bit wacky, and because they are a home for the misfits, the trendsetters, the people that don't fit in anywhere else.
That's why I own a Gucci watch.
That's it. It's a home for the individuals.
Do you know, that's really interesting because I can't afford Gucci clothes. I wish I could. but I love Gucci clothes because they're so different.
Yeah.
And I've had my Gucci watch for like 27 years. It was bought for me a long time ago and it still keeps going. And then I look at things like Louis Vuitton and I hate Louis Vuitton because it's so samey.
Yeah.
Oh, you see, that is the power of branding. Oh, that's
It
so
is
cool.
across every single one of their ad campaigns. The story and the messaging is always the same. It's always out there. Like they did that one with a horse in the car. Woman
I know
driving
what you mean.
around in a convertible with a horse in a car.
Right.
Or the one they did for the Year of the Tiger,
Uh-huh.
where there were lots of, quite unique looking individuals all around a house and all chilling out and doing cool things with just a tiger roaming around.
Cool.
Like you would. But it's all because, they can be weird and they're unapologetically weird
Yeah.
because that's their home.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's imagine we've got a listener who's just left their big flashy corporate job. They've lost their car, they've lost their share options, they've lost their cozy pension, they've lost their paid holidays and their magic money that appears in their bank account once a month.
Yeah.
What's your best advice to getting started from scratch, from that moment of, right, I don't have a salary anymore, what do I do now?
If you want to start a business, don't overthink it.
Right.
In corporate, you're so used to second guessing yourself and going, but I have to present in this particular way because that's the way it's always been done. And if I dyed my hair a funky colour because I fancied it, my boss would look at me funny because, that's not what you do in corporate. You have to be really bland and fit in.
Okay.
And forget all of that conditioning.
Okay.
If you want to do something, if you are good at something and you are passionate about something, start there.
Right.
Start talking about that.
Right.
And build your brand around that. It's a lot more fun and you're much likely to be able to be consistent at it if what you're doing is something that you enjoy and something that you like talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, you've highlighted something there, Sam, that has never occurred to me. And I coach lots of executives and I coach lots of business owners and people who are starting out in business. And I have come across this perfectionism, this second guessing. And it had never occurred to me that that is something that people get in the corporate world, that you're always trying to second guess. Because 1999 was the last time I worked for anybody in a corporate role. But that's what it's like then, is it? You're constantly second guessing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if you work in a company where your senior management aren't necessarily the most, how should we put it, nurturing.
Okay. That's very polite.
Yeah.
What did you actually want to say there?
Well, normally they're just a bunch of self-serving idiots, to be honest.
Okay, cool. That's what we really meant, right?
Yeah. You could make what in the greater scheme of things is quite a minor mistake.
Right.
Like accidentally sending an email to all of your contacts rather than just the one.
Yeah.
I've never done that. I wouldn't have experience of that.
We've all done it.
In fact, when I was emailing my 11-year-old son's homework to his teacher yesterday, I didn't accidentally send it to all of his teachers on the app. No, I didn't do that.
No.
So yeah, we've all done it. But you need to be really, really careful, obviously, for data protection and things.
Of course.
But sometimes relationships, you're supposed to build those in corporate and outside.
Yeah.
So if you've built a relationship with a particular client and your conversations are quite I want to say bantery. Bantery is probably the wrong word, but you kind of have private jokes, and because that's what brings the repeat business in. You've developed kind of a professional friendship. You could accidentally send that to somebody else who really doesn't get what you mean, and as lots of people like to do, take offence. Or you might have accidentally sent it to a senior manager who thinks it's unprofessional, and you get hauled in. But so in that respect, yes, you've always got to. It's like minding your P's and Q's all the time.
Right.
And you end up getting into this mindset where you talk about blue sky thinking and touching base, and let's develop a synergy, which makes me want to be a little bit sick in my mouth. Nobody talks like that in the real world.
No, they don't. They really don't. So where do your clients come from now? Because you're now you can be you. What kind of clients are you attracting?
All sorts. I get most of my clients through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
80% of my clients come through LinkedIn. Another 20% kind of find me through my website.
Yeah.
But I've worked with the telecoms company. I've worked with cleaning companies. My most recent client that I onboarded does they upgrade people's homes and things with mobility stuff. So hoists and ramps, and to make their homes and their businesses more accessible.
Cool.
So yeah, a wide range. And I've also worked with people that are just new to LinkedIn.
Right.
And want to kind of build a bit of a personal brand, although they're not sure exactly what direction that they want to go in.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where the coaching comes in, and I kind of have to coax out of them what it is they're actually good at and what they enjoy talking about and what they want to make money from. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're all on there for.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to earn a living. Yes, we do. You can't pay your mortgage with followers.
No. No. Although some coaches, I should say, on there would like to make you believe that you could, but no,
you can't. No, you really. It's like, turnover is vanity, profit is sanity, and I think the same goes for followers. Followers is the equivalent of turnover, but unless you turn that into money in the bank, then it's just vanity. Yeah. So you can have 2 followers and be really, really successful, and you can have thousands of followers and not earn a penny. So yeah, definitely, I totally agree. So okay, what's the campaign that you've run that sticks in your memory, for good or bad?
My favourite has got to be Chat Up Fines.
Ooh, what's that? Tell me.
It's a bit of a labour of love, because I got fed up of receiving crude DMs. I've had people propose to me. I've had people ask me to go and visit them in whatever country they happen to reside in. I've had people send me pictures of their appendages, which, for the guys out there, I'm sorry, but your willy looks like a shriveled shrew. I don't need to see that in my inbox.
It's not pretty.
No, it's not an attractive appendage.
No.
Stop sending it to people, especially if they haven't asked for it.
Yes. And is that on LinkedIn?
Yes.
My God.
And it's not just me. I'd like to say that I'm special, but I'm not. Lots and lots of people get them, which is why the campaign kind of evolved.
Okay.
Now, people don't like to be lectured. And if you're serious, even though it's a serious topic, if you're serious all the time, people tend to switch off.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of trying to tackle it from a light-hearted point of view. So we've created a character called Dick Dirty.
Right.
Which is basically just me with a filter, which gives me a beard and a big hairdo. And I play out both sides of a conversation of things that women get in their DMs. So Dick Dirty plays the role of the man in the DMs, and then I switch to me, and I read out the responses that we have to give, like, no, not interested, and thanks, but this is really not appropriate.
Yeah.
And hopefully that'll make people realise just how ridiculous they sound when they're doing these things, and that this never works. You know, it's not a good chat up strategy.
No,
I don't think I've ever met anybody that's gone, oh yes, I met my husband and we've been together for God knows how many years and are going to grow old together after he sent me a dick pic on LinkedIn.
No, that's not yet happened. No.
And hopefully raise some charity money at the same time. So when you get an inappropriate message or somebody leaves an inappropriate comment on your post, you can send them that you find that comment or DM inappropriate. And as such, you're issuing them a chat up fine and put a link to the donation page of your favourite charity. Obviously, it's voluntary. We can't force people. We're not going to send the bailiffs round if they don't. We've got no way of doing that. But hopefully, over time, it will become kind of a social convention. A little bit like a swear jar in somebody's house. If you see it, you'll go, maybe I need to hold my P's and Q's. If we can kind of bring that into social normality online, then hopefully we can make a change for the better, where it's safer for everyone.
Yeah. And what's it called again? What's this initiative campaign?
Chat Up Fines.
Chat Up Fines. Right. And is there a page on LinkedIn?
There is a page on LinkedIn.
Okay. Brilliant.
We also have a website.
Great.
And we are going to try and roll it out across other platforms because it's rife on all of them.
Yeah. It is. I was aware on other ones, but LinkedIn you'd have thought was a relatively safe space. But that's really not good, is it? That's just not big or clever in any way, shape or form. No. Okay.
You know, lots of us have daughters or nieces or, you know, we don't want them receiving messages like that.
No, definitely not. None of us do. It's horrible.
No.
It's just awful. Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, I'll make sure that goes in the notes for the podcast. And when I put the podcast out, we'll make sure people are aware of that because I like the idea of fining these individuals. Yes. And do you report them to LinkedIn?
Yeah, we would. You know, the campaign is always safety first.
Yeah.
So please, if you're going to send somebody a chat up fine, screenshot the messages and then send them in to us so that we can turn them into great dick dirty content. Yeah. Obviously, we won't say who those messages were sent to.
No.
And we can't name the people because LinkedIn thinks you're bullying if you name and shame the perpetrators.
Oh, really?
Yes. They can block your account because they think you are bullying the individual. So we kind of anonymise it all. So please do not feel worried that you're sending these in to us and that people are going to be able to identify you because they won't.
Good.
And then, yes, report them. Report away.
Yeah.
But just make sure you send them in to us so we can let Dick Dirty loose on them.
Brilliant. And of course you can block them, can't you?
Yeah. If you report somebody, you tend to block them anyway. It comes up as an option.
Great.
And also LinkedIn has a nice feature now in your message settings that if somebody does send you an appendage, its AI algorithm picks that up and sticks it straight into your spam folder.
Good.
So that you don't necessarily see it straight in your inbox.
Good. That's great. Well, what a great campaign to be involved with. I love that. Where are you taking the business, Sam? What kind of global domination or not are you aiming for?
I'm hoping to help as many people as possible.
Good.
And have enough money to buy a house.
Yay!
4-bedroom house so that we can all have a bedroom and I can have an actual office. Because apparently my 19-year-old says that when he joins the army, I'm not allowed to turn his bedroom into an office.
Oh, rude.
Yeah, I know. Really selfish of him, I think. He's not going to be there. I did say that I'd quite happily put one of those fold-up chair things that pulls out into a bed in it.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, when he does come back, he's got somewhere to sleep.
Yeah.
As long as I can kick him out when I have to work again.
Yeah.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
No, it's not. We gave ours away to a Ukrainian refugee. So the kids can't come back. The two older ones have left. And we went, oh, we're giving it to a Ukrainian refugee. And the other one is full of my mum's old furniture. And so when my son did bounce back, as he has done several times, left home 4 times now, he gets to sleep on the day bed in my office. But
I think that's perfectly reasonable.
Yes, I do too. Yes, I do. So that's good. Great. Now, if your business had a personality or a character, tell me who it would be and describe their characteristics. And if you can't think of a person or a character or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just the characteristics will do.
A little bit like Dennis the Menace, I would imagine.
I love Dennis the Menace.
I think Dennis the Menace is massively underrated. Everybody thinks he's a troublemaker, but he's not. He's just a bit of a trendsetter, and he likes to rock the boat a little bit to keep things interesting.
Yes.
Who wants to be bored?
Nobody. I grew up on the Beano. I got the Beano every week. I loved Dennis the Menace. Nasher was, of course, my favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I love Nasher. But then I also love Snoopy.
Yeah.
Snoopy's. I have a Snoopy badge on my denim jacket. And yeah, Dennis the Menace. Minnie the Minx.
No, I don't remember Minnie the Minx. However, my favourite back then was Banana Man. Love Banana Man. Although I hate bananas, so I'm not sure why. But yeah.
I really like that. Dennis the Menace, that is a first. We've had all kinds, but that is a first. So I wish you well. How many years into the business are you, Sam?
Officially?
Mm-hmm.
About 3.
Great.
Although I took a 10-month sabbatical last year. We had quite a lot of family stuff going on. So I was actually thinking of walking away from the business. But then 4 months ago, I thought, no, I can't do it. Can't go back into corporate.
Oh.
So I'm back with a vengeance.
Oh, I love that. Good. Well, that's one of my dogs shouting now. So that's a good place to end the podcast. Best of luck. Keep doing what you're doing. And I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, speak to you soon.
Take care.
Cheers.
The Entrepreneurial Journey Podcast. We're talking business and building a culture that's kick-ass. Where we make it happen. Grab your seat, let's have